That's okay.
I
Nothing
just
we haven't
want to
done
make
before.
sure
No, you're
that
good.
I want to make sure that.
Okay. Welcome back. Jordan Parker here with Right Side Broadcasting Network outside of Rapid City, South Dakota at the Black Hills Speedway, and I am joined by the lovely Tana Goertz, Senior Advisor to the Trump campaign back in 2016, and kind of a jack of all trades. You do it all. Tana, how are you today, and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to you. I'm doing great. And yes, I do it all because we cannot leave any stone unturned. We got to ensure another 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Now, with this pandemic, campaigning has taken a different approach, been a little more hands-off, not as many rallies, but you're on the ground all the time. What are you hearing from voters across the country?
Voters want America back and up and running, reopened. They are so proud of how our president has handled this pandemic. They're excited. They want him to get back out campaigning. Last night was just monumental. It was so exciting and electric. And they're excited to do more. But our hands are a little bit tied. So we have gone digital, and that's gone very well. But as you know, I am a hands-on, boots on the ground type of lady, and I want to convince the voters why they need to vote for President Trump again.
That's a great point. Digital is wonderful, but it can't replace the person-to-person interaction, and especially the president's signature campaign rallies. Now, for those of you who don't know, you were actually at Mount Rushmore for the president's address last night. Describe that for us.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was so patriotic. It felt so American. It felt you were so proud to be an American. Donald Trump loves this country. That's why I met him in his boardroom 15 years ago, and that was one of the things that I learned about him is how much he loves our country, how much he loves the flag, how much he loves our veterans. And I'd never known anybody who was so patriotic. So to see him and Melania actually watching the fireworks, it gave me chills because I knew how much he loved that. I knew how much he loved being there. I know how much he stands for our monuments and all of our great legends and presidents. So I know what that means to him. And it was awesome. It was like really one of the better nights of my life. It goes down as one of the top 5 best nights of my life.
It was incredible. Now, we're gearing up for the election that's been going on for over a year now, but we are kind of in the home stretch push towards November 3rd. What do you want to see from that campaign in these next and final few months? I
really want to see what we have been doing, and that is just the contrast of a President Donald Trump and a President Joe Biden. There's no competition. There's no comparison. There should be no contest, but I will never rest on my laurels until I see him, win on election night. The contrast is so awesome because we need to just show what a president of Joe Biden would look like and what America would look like under Joe Biden. It would be a disaster, let alone having a leader like we saw last night who stood up and said to all of the American people watching online and all of us in the audience, I will never let America not be respected. And that was a bold, decisive leader, and that's exactly what we need in these trying times. We need strength and we need boldness. And Joe Biden is neither.
And that's a great point. Pivoting off of that, these are trying times. The elephant in the room is we've been in the middle of a pandemic for the past few months. There's protests, there's riots going on across the nation. How do you think the president's handled these multiple situations?
I think the president has handled them great. He's saying, he was the law and order president. He was that candidate, and he said, I will be a law and order president, and he has been. You follow the law, we won't have any trouble. You want to break the law, you're going to jail. I love the fact that he is holding people accountable. He's not going to allow people to just peacefully protest that isn't peaceful. So I love how he's handling it. I always want him to be even tougher, and he's as tough as they come. So I'm very proud of what he's doing. He will not back down, and he will not let America be disrespected, and I love that in my president.
Now, a great thing about you, as we mentioned previously, you're on the ground all the time. Now, the mainstream media really comes after the president for anything, literally anything, but they don't often go to rural parts of America and talk to the actual voters. What's your message to the mainstream media, and why are they getting it wrong so often?
Well, unfortunately, there's not great networks like yours that do speak the truth and do interview people so that the world can see there aren't racists. We aren't racist. We love all Americans. Liberty and freedom for all. We are very inclusive. Our president said that last night at Mount Rushmore. What they're getting wrong is a Trump supporter is a loving, kind, very selfless individual that will give you the shirt off of their back. And so it's a narrative, and it's a narrative that the media wants to spew out because they're terrified of another 4 more years of President Trump. He is draining the swamp. Unfortunately, the swamp is very deep and very muddy and very messy, and the snakes and the eels crawl at the bottom of it, and he's just, flushing them out. Yeah. But it takes a while. And so, I mean, they need to just talk to real people, and they don't want to. They want to talk to people that don't have jobs, that don't have anything going for them, that still live in their mother and father's basement, that don't support our president because our president is all about the American dream. Go work for it. You got it. But they don't want to work for it. So they want to spew this narrative, and it doesn't exist. And I'm honored to be able to be on networks like yours that actually do interview people who have it together and do support this man and unapologetically say, I love and support our great president, Donald Trump.
We show everyone watching online is seeing exactly what we're saying. We showed it all live and uncut yesterday. Now, lastly, non-political question. What does the 4th of July mean to you?
It means being an American and being free. It's the greatest country on earth, and I'm so proud to be an American, to have been born in this country. I love the flag, as our president does. It means freedom, liberty, the American dream. Anybody can do anything. I'm a mom from Iowa, and I work for the President of the United States. I was handpicked by him to go on his show, The Apprentice, that changed my life forever. If I can do it, a mom with 2 small children, anybody can do anything.
That's incredible. Well, Tana, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great having you before. Wonderful to see you here in South Dakota, and I'm sure and I pray that we will see you back on the campaign trail very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in Rapid City, South Dakota. We're going to head back downstairs, bring you more of the action here at AmFest. We'll be right back.